The following program is being funded by the Harmony Hill Performing Arts Foundation, protecting creativity throughout the Northeast and the world.
And Jesus looked down on Jerusalem. Would I could gather you to my breast.
You know, I've been singing since I was born, and I always thought I was going to be famous, right? And went through many years of chasing after the music industry and all kinds of levels, and going down to New York and going to LA and going to Nashville and making demos, and basically I had blinders on. I could only see my own world. And I hurt a lot of people in the process, and hurt myself even more. And Jesus was not part of that at all for so many years. And I had grown up with many clergy in my family, but for some reason I didn't see how Jesus applied to me, how the cross applied to me. In fact, I didn't really understand it. And then I had these friends from a church, from Church of Christ, who were musicians. They were really good musicians. And they were always in my life because they were such good players, especially a fellow named Jim Peterson. And at one point, my life kind of crumbled. When I was in my late 20s, I got nodes on my vocal cords, and my fiancé broke up with me, and my friends just kind of disappeared. And I realized that those friends were really based around my music. And if I didn't have a gig, I was always the band leader, right? If I didn't have a gig, they weren't anywhere to be found, and that they were related to that. But then there was these Christian friends. There was Jim and his buddies, and his girlfriend who became his wife, Jean. And they cared about me for me, not just whether I could sing well. And at that moment, I couldn't sing well because I got nodes, and my band broke up, my gigs canceled. Where was my life going? And I think sometimes God has to take us to a low point before we stop and really look at Him. And it was at that time that my ex-fiancé started to study the Bible. And he came from a Jewish background, so that surprised me in the first place. But he started to really change. He changed the way he treated me. When he would say something mean, he would say he was sorry immediately, and I was like, huh? You know? Wow. And I eventually said to Jim, I said, he's studying the Bible with you, and what happened? You know, he's a new man. I've been trying to change him for 2 years, and no luck, you know, and he's really transformed in just a short time. And David says to me, well, Jesus died for me, and I can't treat you like that. And I was like, whoa, anymore. And so Jim set me up with his girlfriend Jean and some other women from the church. And I started to look at the scriptures to see what it really meant to me, and really seek what is true, what is just myth, what's fantasy, what do I really believe. And it took a few months of struggling through the scriptures and facing my own demons and getting humble about where I'd been. Then I decided it was true, and I needed to do something about it. And I was baptized in January 6th, 1991. And I've been no turning back. Been strong in the Lord. You know, had my ups and downs, of course, but you know, following Him ever since. And I don't know how. I don't know how people, even now looking back, I don't know how they make it through life, through marriage, I have children, you know, through child rearing, through the struggles in life without having God and Jesus. So I'm so grateful that, you know, He let me experience what I did so that I would find Him, because it's given me. God has given me a place to turn in all the challenging times, and has helped me to stay grateful when it's been tough. I owe my marriage to God. Anyway, just He's really everything.
Wow, that's very powerful.
And Jesus looked down on Jerusalem. Would I could gather and give you rest. And Jesus wept, and Jesus wept.
The preceding program was funded by the Harmony Hill Performing Arts Foundation, serving and protecting creativity throughout the Northeast and the world.